Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, cheaper archers meet cheaper infantry on the battlefield as MbL, playing as the Mayans in blue, gets ready to take on the Viper, playing as the Goths in red. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup that we'll be watching today. Now the Mayans are a Civ that pushes its players towards archer units. Their skirmishers can be upgraded to throw a second, albeit weaker, javelin or projectile, whatever term you want to use, and their foot archers, except for skirmishers, become progressively cheaper as the game goes on, all the way up to 30% cheaper in Imperial, which does help them mass their unique unit, the Plumed Archer. This is the fastest foot archer in the game, and one that comes with a small attack bonus against infantry, which in the past has proven very, very problematic for the Goths to deal with. We'll take if we're lucky enough to see Plumed Archers take on Huskarls, we will take a look at the stats and see exactly why that is. Now, to support your ranged units against the enemy, Mayan walls are 50% cheaper. Buy one, get one free, basically, so your archers can stay safe behind a lot of these, and your Eagle Warriors can be upgraded to get a massive 40 HP boost, giving them 100 HP to an incredibly versatile unit. Now, to help produce as large an army as possible, Mayan resources do last 15% longer, and if you noticed in the beginning of the game, they do start the game with an extra villager, but 50 less food, which does mean, unfortunately for the Mayans, they start a random map game or a random game housed with 4 villagers and a scout, which is why if you'll have noticed at the top left of your screen, right at the beginning of the game, MbL researched Loom instead of training a villager, because generally the 25 seconds it takes to build a house with one villager is the exact same amount of time it takes to research Loom. And so you kind of find a workaround to starting the game housed. Taking a look at the housing situation to the eastern side of the map, we've got the Goths, about as single-minded as a civilization can get by pushing its players towards one military building and one military building alone. I am, of course, referring to the barracks. These structures started the game working 20% faster, but can be upgraded to work more than 200% faster, which does help the Goths because in Imperial, they get 10 extra population space, capping out at 210 compared to the normal 200. Now, all Goth infantry units get progressively cheaper all the way up to Imperial, where they are 35% off. Viper having a bit of trouble with this very stubborn Zebra here. And those very same Gothic infantry units get a progressive attack bonus against buildings, which makes them quite good at taking down castles and basically any structure in the later stages of the game. Now, the Goth barracks itself can also be upgraded to train the unique unit of the Goths, the Huskarl, an overall decent infantry unit with one important Liam Neeson Taken style set of skills, and that is killing archers. Huskarls come with a big attack bonus against archers and base pierce armor that basically makes them immune from most archer fire in the game. Now, to support a big hungry population, their hunters are stronger, they carry more, and their hunt lasts 20% longer, and they also get Loom researched in basically a second, which does generally mean the Goths will go up to Feudal Age with one extra villager in the bank, on the field, in their settlement, whatever, however you want to say it, because, again, Loom, constructing a house, training a villager, all of that stuff takes 25 seconds, so if you can get Loom research in just under a second, does give you more time to train villagers, although we'll see if that actually ends up happening here. Let's take a look at the bases as both players sit at 17 villagers a pop. I'm looking at the minimap. These are basically open bases, so it's going to be very interesting to see how both the Viper and MbL decide to wall it off or not wall it off, basically decide what the hell they want to do. Unfortunately for our Goth, his forward gold incredibly exposed here to the front position, primary stone. Also, kind of off the beaten track, but exposed as well. 2 villagers already heading over here. Not enough wood for a mining camp, so I'm sure they'll mine their 10 gold apiece right as the Viper clicks up to the next stage. Oh, look at that, with 1 extra villager. That is the advantage of having Loom researched in under a second. Both players with 0 TC idle time. Additional gold to the back, additional forests to the back, additional stone to the south. Militia Billy Club wielding death machine here is waiting for his friend to pop out, and now I'm sure he's going to go across the map. And then additional gold very far off campus, unknowingly placed on the wrong side of a hill here for the Viper. And it looks like MbL is going to be discovering very shortly that there are going to be 2 militias heading his way. Let's take a look at his vision. Yeah, he sees them like ships passing in the night. Oh no, never mind. The ships catch sight of each other. At least the blue ship catches sight of red. Ooh, and now he sees a 3rd militia as well. So let's take a very quick look at MbL's base, also like the Viper's, completely open. Primary stone, nice and secure to the back. Gold off the beaten path. You're not really in the direct line of attack, just to the north of the base. Looks like a bit of a scuffle happening here. The Eagle taking some damage, the Militia taking some damage. But there are now 4 militias heading over to our Mayan base. All right. Our Mayans in Feudal, though, a little bit ahead of his opponent. And where are his additional resources? 2 patches of gold, nice and secure to the back. Also has a bunch of forests to the back, which for an archer civilization is always good to see. And then additional stone here in the very, very forward position, very far off campus. And it looks like MbL is going to discover the Viper's base. Not too sure he's going to accomplish very much with that 1 Eagle scout, although now that I say that, watch that Eagle get like 10 kills or something. But for now, 4 militias now. Men at arms become very aggressive as they attack this palisade. Let's see how much damage they can do. 1 villager is struggling to repair it. 150, 140, 140, 130, 130, 140. The number is just going way too bonkers. It looks like the villagers will not be able to repair it fast enough. It was at 150. Now it's in the 120s. No kills just yet as the scouts decide to back off each other. And an archer moving forward. Where are you going? Go home and defend your settlement. And he does exactly that. Okay, now we're down to the 80s in terms of HP. Oh! And he disengages because of the presence of 1 archer. Man, it's always interesting to see 4 men at arms. I mean, their HP is not great. They're down like 20 or 30% HP. They do have pierce armor against the unit that attacks on a 4. But I guess the presence of that 1 archer and the inability of those men at arms to catch up, they move at a 0.9 tile speed. The archer 0.96. So in theory, the archer should be able to run circles around these men at arms. And it shoos them away. 1 unit shooing away 4 units is just a... So I'm going to interrupt myself. Look at the Viper. He expects MbL to go to the northern part of the forest. He's already cut off half of his men at arms. Are they going to catch something? No, they just move a little bit too slow. If they only had a little bit of a boost to their movement speed, they would absolutely be able to have caught at least an Eagle Warrior. But it doesn't really matter. The Viper gets the first Blood Rambo prize here, gunning down that archer. And now his army's kind of, I don't know what to call this, a loop-de-loop? It's back. MbL is leading this Gothic army straight back to his base. And in an interesting turn of events, it is the Viper who was housed there for a hot second. Although with 2 extra houses, he should be... pretty okay moving forward. And of course, I pivot and look at a house being constructed right as a spearman dies, and the Viper, 2 kills to none, moves in with his Eagles. Why did you hesitate? Why did you move back? I guess the HP on these Eagles makes him a little bit cautious. If they were full health, probably would have engaged into that villager and tried to snipe it. But MbL playing very, very cautious right now. His HP is down. He's down 2 kills. Army count, he's down 1. Villager population, identical. Neither player, by the way, making any effort to wall off their bases. So at the 14-minute mark, the Viper's got a bit of a vertical situation here developing. I don't even think this is fully walled off. No, it's not. This is still open. So I guess he kind of wanted to, but then forgot about it or decided against it. My favorite yellow lemon bushes. Let's click on them so those blue butterflies get shoot out of their... There they go. Oh, there one goes. You have to click on the lemon bushes. It's a little known secret. I'm, of course, just kidding. Viper, traumatized from being housed before, now vows to never be housed again as a lion attacks him in the middle of the forest, desert, rather. But the men-at-arms, the militias, are good enough. I mean, MbL's caught up in army count. He was only down 1, but still managed to catch up. Now he's ahead in army count. His Eagles, his archers are here, 3 of them, but the Viper is pushing out with quite a sizable force. We've got 5 units here. We've got 6 units here. There's more units streaming across the map. His resource is non-existent, so we're not going to see Castle Age out of him anytime soon. Our Mayan, 300 food, 200 gold. Just needs 500 more food. Easier said than done, of course, but still needs 500 food, and he's ready to go up to Castle Age. As we have yet another engagement and yet another death here. 2 of them. 3 of them for the Viper. Kill count now stands at 5-1 as these Eagles and their archer friends penetrate the back of the Viper's base. Finally, MbL is able to cause a little bit of a ruckus to his opponent, a bit of a disruption, as all of a sudden both players are just attacking the woodlines of their opponents, and that's what happens when your woodlines are very far from the town center. Although these ones aren't super duper far. Let's say medium distance. You can afford to start attacking villagers, shooing things and villagers and units away. But this is a lot of skirmishers for our Mayan. Remember, the discount that they get doesn't apply to skirmishers. It's only for foot archers. So these are full price skirmishers. I mean, is 3 archers now becoming 6 archers are 10% off. Okay, Viper disengages for a little bit. Eagles do not want to join in. I believe this man-at-arms does come with an attack bonus against eagles. There it is, +2. And so their usefulness is not exactly maximized against infantry here. And yeah, look at that, MbL. First to go up to castle. But I guess the MbL decides, you know what, even with the attack bonus, I can't afford to just let these archers die. And the eagle with 2 HP cannot even take on a skirmisher. And so he decides to run the hell away as this group of skirmishers, 8 of them. What's the HP on these units? I'm not too sure. I mean, the Viper, I don't think he can take a fight here, but he can at least keep pressuring with the men-at-arms and trying to get something done with the skirmishers. He is chasing villagers. Okay, the men-at-arms close. Okay, they're doing a good amount of damage. I mean, the Viper loses his 2 skirmishers. I mean, this is just so many little battles happening all over the map. It looks like MbL's expeditionary force to the back of the Viper's base has been wiped out. Both players now managing to get a single villager kill, but right, of course, as I say that, the Viper gets another villager kill. But before he can get a third, he dies as his sword arm, it was raised to deliver a killing blow. He himself gets shot down by the archers. And now the Viper's got to get the hell out of here. He's going up to castle himself about a minute, 50 seconds or so behind his opponent. But not much that he can do here with a very, very weak. And again, the units stacking on one another is something as a caster that is so annoying to watch. You have to really highlight that. Looked like 2 units, but it's actually 3. Their HP is down 2/3. So yeah, their longevity is non-existent. MbL takes a bit of damage, retreats. Bit of a late reaction time means that he loses an archer here. But the Viper is chasing into archers on the high ground, which means bye men-at-arms. And look at this. The Viper is sandwiching blue. Blue is sandwiching red. Everyone is sandwiching everyone. And everyone on a full stomach is losing units left, right, and center. The archers become crossbows, and MbL using his 50-second advantage perfectly in Castle Age is now here with a very strong archer unit. But our Goth 44 seconds away from Elite Skirmisher, which means by the time MbL gets here, crosses this vast desert wasteland known as Arabia, I don't know that he's going to necessarily be able to get too much accomplished. But yours truly has been known to call things wrong before. This is a good amount of ranged units here. Looks like the Vipers have penetrated the back as well. This guy has 0 kills, so what wins here? More HP or attack bonus? Oh, it doesn't matter because there's 2 crossbows to the back. Change the dynamic, and now our Goth is going knights. Or more correctly, a knight. And MbL? This is the problem when your primary gold is so forward, so exposed. You just get shoot off of it immediately, and that is a lot of gold downtime in Castle Age. The last time you want to be pushed off your gold. I don't know why MbL's attacking this. I don't think this is... Actually, is it walled off? Yeah, it is. I didn't see that tree stump earlier. My bad. Okay, apologies. I guess it is walled off. But... I mean, 5 skirmishers attacking this house with its 9 pierce armor. I don't know that the house is going to fall anytime soon, but MbL has a bit of time. He's training monks. The more pressure he can keep on the Viper in the front of the Viper's base, the more his monks can roam around the map, perhaps gathering relics, perhaps converting the knight that MbL saw is out here. Now we're going up to 3 knights for our Goth. Does have +1/+1 on them. Ooh, the knight. Oh, man. Every time the wild animal on a map is a lion, I feel like we just see them more and more, and it's so much more aggressive. I mean, what the hell is going on here? Mother Nature taking sides, attacking this knight, reducing his HP significantly. I don't know who's winning this battle. We have 1 dead skirmisher, a bunch of dead blue crossbows. MbL's not really firing. He's more on move command, so This lion is still in the middle of all this. And down he finally goes along with the rest of MbL's army. So I can clearly say now I know who won that battle. No, go back, go back. Go back. Go back to the welcoming arms of the crossbows. The crossbows need to stop their freaking move command. Brilliant, brilliant get there out of MbL. 2 knights, a skirmisher, but he can't stay here too long. These elite skirmishers are definitely going to be able to kick his ass here in the middle of the map as yet another monk moves forward. So our Mayan has 1 relic right now. No particular special feature or bonus for the Mayans with the relics. Not exactly Aztecs or Burgundians or anyone else who has special relic features. But not bad when your archers are discounted 30% in Imperial Age. It's not bad to have an extra source of gold. Anytime your strong foot forward is a cheaper strong foot forward, having even a little bit more gold can be a game changer. Castle going up for our Mayans. I love this location. Says my primary gold is a little bit exposed here, so I'm just going to protect it with a castle and the Viper siege workshop, and then basically 1 of everything. We've got 1 stable, 1 archery range, 1 barracks, 1 siege workshop, 1 monastery, 1 blacksmith. The only thing we don't have 1 of his town centers, which he has 3, and he is 3 villagers ahead of his opponent. MbL 1, 2, and a 3rd town center going up for him as well. Will discover the presence of the castle as it guns down a skirmisher who tried to move in. So MbL is going to see that, or rather the Viper is going to see that MbL is going for castles. Whether or not that means plumed archers, he doesn't know. We know it means 2 plumed archers, but he does not know that. What is attacking? Oh, there's a skirmisher. I saw the skirmisher to the south. I didn't see this one. Oh. Missing ballistics means that monk survives the mangonel, though. I love that MbL chose to pick off the mangonel before fighting the knight. I mean, the Viper probably sent that knight in to die, knowing that if the crossbows were engaged with that knight, that mangonel could get a very juicy shot off. But unfortunately, MbL wasn't having it, as he loses yet another monk. But it's 3 relics to 0, so at best the Viper's going to have 3 relics or 2 relics to 3. I don't know if he's even going to get 2 relics, as this one is right next to MbL's base, and the mangonel gets its first 2 kills as these skirmishers bite the dust. I mean, this is very aggressive here out of MbL. This is incredibly aggressive out of him. I thought his primary stone is nice and secure in the back. Why is he trying to mine that? And he's got plenty of room for villagers here. I wonder why he's trying to take this in very, very exposed. I mean, I always think it's if you can take the resource that's more risky, take that one first, because you can always fall back on your main resource. And oh, who wins this fight? The skirmishers need to be microed quite well if they don't want to avoid the mangonel, but so do the crossbows. Oh man, still no ballistics though, so not quite as much damage. There's a monk here for Blute to snipe, but decides against it. There's enough skirmishers here to shoo this force away. Even more moving in from the south. Mangonel, though. Okay, how many kills are we up to now? 4. So we got another villager and that skirmisher. Yeah, the Viper sees the monastery with all of 3 relics. Very forward monastery, as we've got plumed archers. Fastest foot archer in the game. Look at him run. What a beautiful unit with that big plume. And MbL is going for a... I don't want to say castle drop, but he is going for a very aggressive forward position here, nullifying the tertiary gold of his opponent. And this is the 3rd gold patch that the Viper has. Oh, with the mangonel. Oh no! MbL just lost 650 stone! That mangonel! That was absolutely epic. The Viper with a preemptive mangonel shots absolutely just guts MbL. And look at what MbL's doing. He's buying 400 stone. He's buying 100 stone. He sold all of his wood. He sold all of his food. What an absolute sour turn of events here for our Mayan, who is now also being rear-ended, but only by a few skirmishers. Means that these Eagle Warriors are going to have a field day with them. But wow. I guess don't feel bad if that ever happens to you. When it can happen literally to anybody. That was a brilliant move out of the Viper. But look at MbL, undeterred. Sold all of his wood, all of his food. and then spent a shiitake mushroom ton of gold to get this castle. So stubborn. Let's put it like this: stubborn or tenacious, depending on whether you're pro MbL or not pro MbL. Converted plumed archer here. Okay, he has turned against his former friends and says F you to this one house in particular. Maybe this was his house before he got converted, and he found out that now that he's joined the other side, his significant other has left him. And so angry, bitter, wanting to inflict as much pain as possible on everyone else so that he can minimize his own pain, he then attacks his former abode. But no, he gets reconverted and rejoins the Mayan Empire here. So a nice Shakespearean drama occurring here with this one plumed archer. Mangonels. Mangonels, mangonels, mangonels. Man, are they freaking dangerous. And the plumed archer, though, the one saving grace against mangonels is their HP is quite tanky for a foot archer unit. 50 for the base model. I think it jumps up to a massive 65, which is a 30% increase in HP when they go elite. But we are nowhere close to elite. MbL is still 2 minutes away, and look at all of a sudden anarchy and infantry upgrades. We're getting thumb ring and ballistics. Are we gearing up to see Huskarls versus plumed archers? Because then it does become a matter of just micro and who is paying more attention and who can do better. We've seen the plumed archer of Mr. Yo, for example, absolutely eviscerate the Huskarl line of the Viper in a game, I believe, about 6 or 7 months ago. Oh, MbL's going to catch a few villagers here. He's definitely going to catch a few army units here. By the way, their firing speed is also pretty damn good. 1.6. Thank you, Thumbring. Ooh, but they're on the low ground. They should not be taking this fight. Viper is an Imperial. What is he going to do? He's starting to train Huskarls. He's got Anarchy. He needs Perfusion, though. Elite Huskarl upgrade. So Anarchy allows him to train Huskarls out of his barracks. Perfusion basically injects steroids into those barracks by making them work more than 3 times faster. 219% faster, which basically means each one of these Gothic barracks with Perfusion is the same as 3 generic barracks of any other civilization, because they can pump out units at 3 times the speed. MbL's not leaving. He's taking the gold. He's destroying the infrastructure. The Viper has been housed before. He's very dangerously close to getting housed again, actually. 140 out of 155. And yes, let's see it. I mean, the Viper stopped training Huskarls. Plumed Archer should not be going into the castle. Okay, good. The villagers are in the castle. Base. I mean, look at the Huskarls' armor. Look at that Pierce armor. 10! Now, the Plumed Archer base model does come with a +1 attack bonus against infantry. Oh, and in 27 seconds, we're going to get to see Elite, which will be +2. And we're getting Perfusion as well. Okay, let's freaking go. This is the absolute... I'm going to call this the new El Clasico. If you're not familiar with what the hell El Clasico is, it's the soccer game, as we call it in North America, or the football game, as you call it everywhere else in the world, between Real Madrid and Barcelona. And this is what I'm calling this, because you have on the one hand a unit like the Huskarl with a, now that it's elite, +10 attack bonus against archers. +10, and then 10 pierce armor. But then you have the Plumed Archer that now is elite, will have a +2 attack bonus against infantry. Now, the Plumed Archer is not defenseless. If you're going to take on the Goths, we saw the Goths take on the Britons recently. If you're going to be taking on the Huskarl, you want the Plumed Archer on your side for 3 reasons. Number 1, we saw the attack bonus, +2 against infantry, which means they do 2 damage to this unit. Number 2, unlike other foot archers, now that this guy's elite, I mean, that was just a love tap and he died. Now that he's elite, where are you? 65 HP, which means that the Huskarl is going to need, I mean, compare it to a normal 40. I mean, what are skirmishers? 35? If there's any skirmishers left on the field? No, not a single skirmisher left on the field. Okay, there he is. 30, 35 for the elite, I believe. And this guy's got 65 HP, double the HP of that skirmisher that we just saw. And then on top of that, they move faster than the Huskarl, so he can snipe him all the livelong day. So as much as the Huskarl is the archer killing extravaganza unit, the plumed archer is the Huskarl hunter. And so that's why I said it really does depend on micro, because like this Huskarl is not going to make it. Look how fast they die. Oh, man. And this is how we saw Mysterio use this unit to absolute great effect. But if the Huskarl closes and if the plumes are focusing on the trebs, uh-oh, look at that. Nice, neat, nice OCD row of archers gunned down. Viper, are his units fully upgraded? No, he is still missing Blast Furnace. Our Mayan still missing the last armor upgrade, although against the Huskarl, not too sure the last armor upgrade is really that relevant. There's Blast Furnace for the Viper. So we've got two fronts here, one to the northeast of the Viper settlement, one to the southwest of the Viper settlement. As the plumes move in again, their attack is not exactly the strongest, but for the three reasons I mentioned a few seconds ago, a minute ago, yeah, they can absolutely wreck the Huskarls. I guess also one Huskarl running into a castle full of plumes is also not bad. As another one suicides himself, this time into 4 plumed archers. And there's no other archer here that can run away like this. Look at the speed, 1.2 to what is this with Squires? 1.15. So they can outrun the Huskarl, making them very deadly. Well, but the villagers could not outrun the Huskarls as they move in yet again. We'll keep an eye on these guys. But the army supplies are getting very bonkers here for both players. 71. MbL is going up to 86 plumed archers. And the villagers might want to repair these trebs, but not with how many freaking plumed archers here. 33 with a bunch of monks healing them up. Huskarl's chasing plumes to the south as well. So MbL is going to keep doing this. He's going to keep sending the Viper on little chases around the map. The Viper is going to have to carve his army up into smaller bits, which is not what you want to do as the Huskarls, as the Goths. 54 Huskarls, 72 plumed archers. He's moving in to snipe another treb. If he can just get these trebs, his castle will be safe. Oh, he paused at the worst possible time, and in come the Huskarls. Now also the plumed archers on the high ground should add a little bit of oomph to their little pep to their step. Okay, the Viper moves in. If he can close, his is obviously the better unit. But he is fighting between 2 castles, and he is fighting and dying. Oh no. So that force is gone. 3 trebs still remain. MbL still 400 stone or so. Looks like the players kissed each other here and then disengaged. A little bit of a farewell parting kiss. 69 plumed archers, 56 elite Huskarls. And he moves in yet again, doesn't care about castle fire. He wants to get rid of these trebs. He is sacrificing as many plumes as possible, and yet again he doesn't get it. Oh my goodness gracious. And look at yet again the line of bodies. A converted Huskarl not going to survive very long. Ostriches insert themselves into the middle of nowhere. And now the plumes are raiding the economy. Villager count very identical here. 114 to 112, although now it's 107. And look at this, the gap between the houses. And the Mayans just absolutely disappear into the ether, but the Huskarls have had enough. They are moving forward. MbL, I love that he's carved his plumed archers into 2 command army groups here. I mean, the Viper is attacking villagers, which is about as good, best case scenario for the Mayan as possible. To the right side, to the left, though, he has to retreat to the safety of the castle. More Huskarls are here. What is their attack bonus against buildings now? +6. I think that's even better than a Woad Raider. I don't think they get arson, but they do come with a natural free +3 attack. And all of a sudden, wait, what? What? Okay, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that our Mayan lost basically half his villagers. Look at this. Our Mayan settlement is a ghost town. This is Deadwood, South Dakota, without the casinos. This is incredible. Look at this. Wow. Absolutely gutted. And now the Viper moves in to take us gold. Says, you're going to take my gold at me? The Viper had gold here. The only reason to take this gold is to shove a big middle finger into the face of your opponent. But you know what an even bigger middle finger is? A whole bunch of Huskarls, 37 of them with 10 pierce armor, shoving up the guts. This castle is going to fall. MbL's down to 56 stone. No way he can repair against 3 Treps. Not that he even has okay, sorry, pardon me. He's got 1 villager here. 1 villager who is literally about to die. Join these 2 who are here as well. Anytime I see these like a husband and wife villager combo, it always reminds me of that song 7 Spanish Angels with Willie Nelson and oh my god, Willie Nelson and Ray Charles. If you haven't heard that song, listen to it. It is absolutely amazing, beautiful song. 32 kills for these plumed archers. But okay, in this event, in this game, it looks like the Huskarls managed to overwhelm. Although I suspect more realistically, it's the economy that forced MbL to resign here. 66 villagers to 107. He's down 41 villagers. He's down 60% villager count compared to his opponent. Viper 249 kills, MbL 212. So kill count is fairly similar. The Viper, I mean, what is this? 18 extra villagers killed? Not terrible. But the Viper just training more villagers. MbL was not training villagers. What was he doing right before he GG'd? Only 2 villagers, 8 plumed archers. And like I said, if his economy was a bit better, this would have been very confusing as to why he tapped out. But again, the plumed archer, just such a great unit against the Huskarls. 65 HP is crazy for a foot archer. The movement speed, the attack bonus just makes them absolutely lethal to these Huskarls. 4 villager kills for you guys. And what a fun game. I'm glad we got to see the players. I mean, they were aggressing against each other from the very beginning, harassing the forests that were here to the back of the base from the very beginning of the game. And they did not relent. Both of them did not relent. 173 plumes, 152 Huskar. I don't know who wins this with the proper micro. I mean, the plumed archers should, in theory. Peak APM right at the end of the game. Peak APM beginning of the game for the Viper. Let's see the economies. I can't imagine they're too different. Yeah, about 10% difference. Would be bigger without the relic gold. But at the end of the day, our Mayan got all 4 relics. Where's the 5th relic? That's hilarious. The 1 relic that's right next to his base. Did he not scout up here? He didn't scout up here. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The importance of being scout earnest. There you go. That 1 relic would have definitely helped out maybe another 400 or 500 gold, which would have helped with his 69 gold that he has right now. Trash resources to the Goth, scarce resources to the plumed, who, remember, by the way, also lost that 650 stone when the Viper gunned down that castle. That was absolutely epic play out of the Viper. 19 conversions out of 219 army supplies, just under 10% of the Gothic army converted. 1 conversion, which has to be that plumed archer that we saw, that Shakespearean plumed archer. But MbL doing a good job with the conversions as well, but ultimately the loss of villagers, the downing of this castle, which has 105 HP. And if he had not lost this castle, if he still had 650 stone, maybe instead of defending this one so hard, he would have plopped down another one, maybe nearby, maybe somewhere else. And he probably would have kept the fight going. But wow, the Viper. Okay, so just overwhelming with numbers. Very, very apropos of the Goths. Actually, let's see how many structures were destroyed for both players. Because that's a Edelweiss, you turned me on to that. Actually, sorry, I am very sorry. Conversions are 3. So conversions not playing a role. 19 buildings destroyed. I am so sorry. I don't know why I thought these were conversions. Maybe because I'm an idiot. But 19 buildings destroyed by our Mayan. Only 1 destroyed by our Goth, which, by the way, the one that he destroyed is probably more important than the other 19 that the the Mayan destroyed. It's got to be that 1 castle, right? Or does it not count it if it's a building under construction that gets destroyed? Doesn't really matter. What matters at the end of the day is that there is a whole littered body train of blue archers here. An occasional red, what do we want to call this? Pants? Skirt? Kilt? Along with the metallic colored armor here and there, but the vast majority of the dead bodies here are blue, very blue. This guy's just about falling to the ground as he dies. His headdress also making a very fun animation. And ultimately, the Viper just pushes out way too hard, guns down the castle, guts the economy of his opponent, and MbL, even though he still has a very healthy army count of 59 to his opponent's 60, he is one bad fight away from just not being able to recover, and that's the problem when your economy gets gutted. You might take a better fight. He might beat these. In all honesty, he might be able to destroy this army of the Goths, but you know what he won't be able to destroy? The next wave, with the Viper having 63 on food and 10 on gold, and teefing MbL's extra gold here, although MbL does have some gold here to the back, 1,200. So let me know what you think. Perhaps a bit of an early GG, but I think MbL saw a few steps ahead and realized that, yeah, he's one bad fight away. And if he now has to invest his resources into rebuilding his economy, number one, he's only got 3 town centers, 1, 2, 3. He's got less food than is needed to train either a villager or a plumed archer, which I think is 39 food, 39 gold, if I'm not mistaken. So MbL doesn't have anything that he can do. And he realizes that, and so decides to tap out after taking just an absolute terrible engage, and just about to lose a castle as 2 big Treb rocks are thrown right at it. And wow, that was a pretty fun back and forth game, but ultimately the Viper emerges victorious with this hunter killer of the archer unit, the elite Huskarl, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.